So this video is just going to be a follow-up for the video that I did. It was titled, I trusted Tesla FSD 14.2.1 until it couldn't see this car coming. All right. So I made this video after I took my Tesla. I had to drive me from my driveway to go pick up some food. And all in all, it did a very good job. It drove me from point A all the way to where it parked in the parking lot in the place I was going to pick up the food. But along the way, I actually came to an intersection, and that intersection is basically the reason why I'm doing this video. So at that intersection, I disengaged from the Tesla, from FSD, and I got a lot of comments basically saying, why did I disengage? I should have trusted it. I panicked, right? And I actually went, I was actually thinking about it, and in my comments, I was replying, you know what, you're probably right. I probably would have been okay. You know what, I just felt that way. Basically saying that maybe I panicked, right? But as I was thinking about it more, I'm thinking about it. I have one life, right? And I'm not just gonna trust it in a emerging technology. It's amazing where we are right now. I mean, it's really amazing, right? What we can actually do right now. Like I said, I got in my car, pressed self-drive, and it drove me all the way to pick up my food. But all it takes is one mistake for this technology to just mess up one time, hesitate one time, and that's it, right? So it led me to do a little bit more research. Hence, that's why we are here at this video. So let's just take a look. Let's share my screen. And this is the video here. Like I said, I trusted Tesla FSD 14.2.1 until it couldn't see this car coming. Right, so this is the video, and we're gonna come back to this in a second. This is the intersection that I'm talking about. But let's just scroll down, right? It got a lot of comments. It got 34 comments. I'm gonna go down. So first of all, I love this comment. Boy, this is the Blair Witch Project handheld filming style. So first of all, that comment is hilarious, right? The Blair Witch, I actually had to walk out the Blair Witch Project. So the fact that this person, RB, watched my video, props to you, right? I probably wouldn't have done it. But anyhow, we went ahead and he did see it. He commented pretty much different levels of twitchiness when supervising FSD, and we can have counterfactual now on what FSD would have done. Also, that screeching tire added effect. Was it actual sound? It doesn't seem to brake particularly hard, right? Let's scroll down. G4M3 says, you might want to tweak your video title, right? Honestly, I think FSD handled it perfectly. So I just want to start there, all right? He's saying I might want to tweak my title. Now, if I go back to my title said, I trusted Tesla FSD 14.2.1 until it couldn't see this car, right? I want to know how this user, whether they can tell me whether I felt that way or not, right? I started the ride and I trusted it. And then at this particular intersection, I stopped trusting it, right? Or does he think that I started trusting it and then I still trusted it after that intersection, right? Is he in my head? Was he there in the car for me to actually feel what I felt at that time, right? What I'm telling you is that I felt that it didn't see around the car, all right? I'm gonna go back to the footage in a little while, but I also went into to do a little research, right? I want to see if I was the only one that felt this way. But before I get to that, let's just go down to some more comments, right? We have Rod Dog. Rod Dog says, clickbait title and added sound to sensationalize an incident that FSD deals with tens of thousands of times per day, right? He goes on to say, next time, just title it honestly, right? So once again, I'm lying. I didn't feel the way I felt. My first FSD panic, disengage. I got spooked and took over, right? So he's saying I got spooked and took over, whereas I'm saying I took over because I want to be in a safer position than just laying my life in this technology that's still emerging, right? So Rod Dog, respectfully, if that's the way you feel with your life, that's fine, totally. That is not me, right? So let's now just go into some research and let's go into this report. All right, so basically I just did some research, and this video's title, I researched 17 Tesla FSD incidents. This one flaw could right? Once again, Rod Dog might think this is a sensational title. This is something that's clickbait. However, I do not feel that way, right? One mistake, and this title could very well be true, right? And I'm saying this as someone that loves Tesla, which is why you see so much Tesla content on this channel. But I also value my life, right? And Tesla, they're going to continue to get better. I trust that. And I'm going to continue to try FSD and to use it, but I'm going to use it, in my opinion, safely. So in my research, this is actual feedback from users that has seen certain things, right? Or have felt certain things. And I just want to read some of them. This one says, FSD hesitating at intersections. When it was safe to proceed through the intersection, and then after hesitating, it proceeds through the intersection directly into the path of vehicles crossing the intersection. Multiple emergency FSD disables required. This user said, car accelerated when car at full speed coming from left. Obstructed view at the intersection. Thankfully stopped before, but don't know what would have happened. Claims need for front fender camera so car can sneak in and look. This user said, FSD didn't yield a brake at four-way flashing light intersection, had to save it from collision. Car seemed blind to other vehicle. Defensive human driver would have slowed down as soon as other cars started moving, right? So that's key right there, defensive human driver, right? So someone that's more cautious. So in my case, let's say I would have stopped completely or waited until that oncoming car came to a complete stop or slowed down so much that by the time, if he changed his mind to speed up, I would have been well past or well out of the intersection, right? This other user said, in my situation, I could see when I leaned left until the last minute, but I felt like the car committed prior to this. And that's a key part right there. Committed prior to this. What if after starting to decelerate, the driver makes a bad decision and starts to accelerate to beat the light? Do we know how the FSD controlled car would have handled that after committing when it saw the initial deceleration? So here it is saying that's an excellent critical safety question, right? Then I scroll down, it says, based on my research, I found critical Reddit discussion that directly addresses your exact scenario. Let me provide you with what we know. The answer, we don't have definitive evidence the FSD continuously monitors after committed. Right? So it decides to go through, something changes. So in my situation, if that car would have started to go down and then all of a sudden decides, let me punch it, let me try to beat that light, right? And as we know, most accidents happen when a driver, one or both, make very stupid or very bad decisions, right? So if that car would have started to slow down, all of a sudden change his mind and actually punches it to try to go through, what would my car have done, right? And I can tell you that not Rod Dog, not anyone would be able to answer that definitively, right? So here's a user saying the left oncoming car was invisible at the stop line, but clearly came into view long before I entered the intersection. However, instead of stopping, FSD continued forward and accelerated right into their lane. By the time I realized we weren't stopping, it was too late for me to jam on the brakes. Another user commented explaining what they believe is happening. User CK, I think this might have happened in the brain of the FSD. Stop sign, yes, stopped. No cars coming, yes. Cross stop line. Car coming, yes. Am I at the stop sign? No, I'm not. Stop requirement has already been fulfilled, right? So it already stopped, passed, and now it committed, right? Should I keep going? Yes. So mixed evidence on continuous monitoring, concerning pattern. Multiple users report FSD doesn't appear to continuously reassess threats after it commits to proceed through an intersection. So once it decides it's safe to go, the decision seems locked in even when circumstances change, right? So in my case, if that driver would have started slowing down and then changed his mind and actually decided to speed up or just, accelerate, pump the gas and try to beat it, right? So obviously it would have been a bad decision by that driver. Real bad error. But he's a human, right? So he could have chosen to do that, right? FSD could not have stopped that human from deciding to do that. I'm scrolling down. It says users report having to intervene when situations change mid-intersection. The already committed phrase appears in multiple discussions. suggests an FSD doesn't easily back out of a maneuver once it's started. Your specific scenario: if the other driver initially decelerating, FSD sees this, commits to proceed, then suddenly accelerates to beat the light, what might happen? Best case scenario, the AEB detects imminent collision, brakes hard mid-intersection. So in my opinion, I feel that if that car would have sped up, that is probably the likelihood of what would have happened. It would have, hit the brakes hard, and I probably would have stopped, and then that car would have went around me, right? It would have had enough space to go around me. Likely case, FSD continues its committed trajectory, potentially adjusting speed, but may not stop, right? So it sees the car speed up, and then it speeds up, and it makes it through, no accident whatsoever. Still not a safe scenario. Worst case scenario, no reaction until it's too late, relies entirely on you to intervene, right? So once again, it commits, and the driver would have to now take over and decide whether to jam the brake, whether to press the gas and go through. Once again, not a good scenario. So sometimes it'll work, but other times it's already committed. So if you truly want to cancel a turn or a lane change, disengage FSD. All right, so that is just some of the things that I put together there in the research. But I also want to go to, let's see. All right, guys, so I want to preface this by saying that this research here, a lot of it, as you will see here, the date that they were posted were late 2024. So I want to say, in all fairness, the car there's been updates since this, right? But even that's not perfect, because my personal research also showed that people are complaining that in the 14.2.1, the car actually took a step back, right? It's now doing things that it wasn't doing before. So yes, my other argument would be that the same users that are telling me now that I shouldn't have disengaged in November of 2024, they would have been telling me the same exact thing. Hey, it's been through this. The car sees more than a human. It's so much smarter than a human. It is looking 100% of the time. It can look forward, it can look back. So in November of 2024, they would have probably told me the same thing, right? So this date in my mind is probably irrelevant in regards to whether it's too old of a data or so forth, right? That's my opinion. You can also comment down below your thoughts on that, right? But I'm not going to read through all of these. In this report, or in this sheet, basically I have the actual comment from a user. I have the date posted. I have the version. I have the experience of the driver. So whether this was someone that was trying FSD for the first time, whether this was somebody that uses it and came across this particular situation. Then I have the safety level concern, right? Was it critical, high? The source, Tesla Motor Club, Reddit. These are the actual links to the actual post themselves, right? Or the comments. It tells you the intersection type, right? So various intersections, right of way, four-way flashing lights. So all of these is telling you the specific scenario. Specific issues category, hesitation, and then proceeds. And this is what is probably my most concern, right? If it decides to go and then something changes, what does it do? Can it possibly hesitate, right? And once it hesitates, what happens after that, right? That other car is going to make a decision based on the hesitation. And now another change is going to have to happen, right? So that hesitation is what, to me, is the unknown, right? Here it tells you specific issue category. Or sorry, we went over that. So user action taken, emergency disengagement, user intervened, they stopped, emergency takeover. It's telling you here the weather. So in cases like, let's say the sun was, blocking the side pillar, that probably would have come up here. So foliage. So then this scenario, there were like plants or trees blocking the line of sight. So let's just read a few of them, right? So in this first one, which is critical, FSD hesitating at intersections when it was safe to proceed through the intersection. And then after hesitating, it proceeds through the intersection directly into the path of the vehicles crossing the intersections. Multiple emergency FSD disable required. This one is critical. Car accelerated when a car at full speed coming from left. Obstructed view at intersection. Thankfully stopped before, but don't know what would have happened. Claims need for front fender cameras so the car can sneak in and look. So this was my initial feeling as well in the car. I'm driving, and where I was, because the car was in front of me, I had to look. I was sticking my head to the side to kind of look. In my opinion, if while I'm looking, I can't see the car until the last minute, in my opinion, the car is not seeing it as well, right? It's not like it's sticking a little side thing out and it's seeing around it. What I'm seeing, I'm saying that the car is seeing probably fairly close to the same thing as what I'm seeing. So that is the second one. The third one is FSD didn't yield or brake at a four-way flashing intersection. Had to save it from collision. Car seemed blind to the other vehicle. Defensive human driver would have slowed down as soon as the other car started moving, right? So once again, a defensive driver would have just completely waited, and hence the risk for collision would have gone almost down to zero. This one is high. B-pillar is equivalent driver. Okay, so B-pillar camera is equivalent to the driver's sight, but FSD jumps ahead like crazy when the driver can't see. When I don't see what's coming, I move forward very slowly until I see. FSD just jumps ahead, right? So that is my exact feeling as well, right? I was looking to the left. I was sticking my head out to the left. I couldn't see it to the last minute. Hence, I feel like the car committed. Now, once that other car came into the line of sight, I believe that, yes, the car could have picked up that it was decelerating 100%. I believe that, right? But once again, what happens if that car changes its mind? That driver, human, makes a stupid decision and decides to punch it and try to go through that light, right? So then it was decelerating, then it changes and it's no longer decelerating. What does the car do? Does it slam on the brakes? Does it try to make it through? That is my contention. I don't know, and I don't think you know exactly what would happen in every single scenario, right? I want to know this exact sheet. I'm not going to go through all of them. I'm going to leave this. I'm going to link it down in the description. And if you have the time, once again, I know this is not an exciting video, but if you have the time, if you're someone that is concerned, you want to learn more about the FSD and you just want to kind of be in a conversation, right? Because I do definitely appreciate it. So regardless of who commented in my previous video, I highly respect it. But I also do feel that I have the opinion to feel the way I do. I was in the car. I'm going to show a little footage to kind of share what I was feeling at the time. But like I said, I do respect all comments. So feel free to comment down below based on anything I've said so far, right? It's all open. Just want to have a discussion. So let's go to my actual footage, right? So these are the comments once again. And now here's the intersection, right? I want to show you that when I press play, the intersection. So what I want you to do is take a look at all these little black spots right in front of the car, right? So if the car's not moving, those black spots would remain exactly where they are, right? So it's going to be hard. Maybe you might have to pause it and look at the black spots and then pause it and look back up. But what I want you to notice is that those black spots are going to basically disappear beneath the car, meaning that at one point you're going to see the car make a decision to move forward, right? It's going to move forward and those black dots are going to be underneath the car, but you're not going to see that the last car in the frame as yet, right? So my question is, or my contention is, once it decides and it moves past those black dots, right? The feeling that I have from driving the FSD enough times, like in the local streets, when it stops at a stop sign and it stops kind of early, and then it creeps up and it kind of commits. I do have enough experience in those scenarios to kind of feel when I feel like the car committed, right? So that is a feeling that I had. And you can see, like I said, you're going to see these dots disappear below the car. And then when you look up, so I'm going to try to catch it by pressing play and stopping it. So the last car, when I was looking to the left, right now, I still could not see the car in question. But if you look at the dots in front of the car, right now they're there, right? Boom. those cars, those dots disappeared, right? So right here, the car committed. This car that you're seeing there, the lights, it very well may be decelerating, right? I'm not arguing that because it did actually decelerate, right? But what happens if he changes his mind? And from this stage, I mean, you cannot tell me that there's not a driver that from that far back hasn't changed their mind and decided to try to beat the light. That's why accidents happen. Very stupid decisions by drivers. So if he decides to change his mind from this distance, what does my car do? Does it hesitate and stop and then the car has to go around me? Or does it speed up and go through? So I felt it commit, and that car did slow down, and that's fine. But what if is my question. And it could be right 999 times, but what if that one time it's not right? So personally, that's my opinion. I'm not going to risk my life on that one time in this technology's hand while it's still emerging, especially, right? I really respect Tesla. I love Tesla. I think that we have come so far. I think we're going to go so far. By all means, my video, my titles is not to hurt Tesla. Like I said, I love Tesla. But I also don't think that you should just blindly decide, hey, I trust this tech 100%. I am just going to sit back and just, nothing's going to happen, right? No. Again, maybe you can do that, right? That is absolutely your right, is your life. But that's not the way I feel about it. All right, guys. So that's about it. Like I said, I'm going to leave this sheet right down below in the description. If you want to go through these comments, you want to go through some of those different items on that list, go through it, comment down below. And by all means, this video is all meant to have a healthy discussion, kind of bring awareness, because after researching, I realized there are a lot of people that feel the way that I feel, where they're not Tesla haters, but they also think that there's a long way to go when it comes to complete safety. And by complete safety, I mean like by just completely trusting your life in the hands of this FSD system. So anyhow, guys, I appreciate it. If you watched this far, comment down below. Be sure to let me know your thoughts. See you in the next video.